Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bullring presented by SRI. Alan Dietz here with you alongside Jess Ballard. And Jess, it's great to see you. Our last show was on location at Michael Waltrip Brewing in Bristol. Had a ton of fun with the boards, guys.
I'm so sad I missed that.
I am too. I think you had a lot of fun. Everybody was hoping you'd be there.
Everyone looked like they were having a great time.
Yes, they were, except me. No, I was having a really good time. We had a really good time. We're going to have a good time today, too. We got a lot of great guests joining us. Matt Craig will be here, along with Garrett Evans, Taylor Kitchen, Brandon Varney, Joe Liguori, and Todd Thelen. And, I'm excited about this weekend here on Racing America. We got a lot of great races coming up, but finally, hopefully, fingers crossed, if the weather cooperates, the ROC Modifieds will be able to kick their season off at Mahoning Valley Speedway, and it'll be the return of the Race of Champions Modifieds to Racing America, which we're excited about.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. I haven't checked the forecast. Is it?
Who knows?
Okay, good. Well, I know we've all been looking forward to it, and I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, you're going to have Austin Beers there, and Matt Hirschman, and all the strong contenders from the Tour Type Modifieds, and a full slate of racing action. That'll be Saturday, the ROC Modifieds at Mahoning Valley Speedway in Pennsylvania. If you're not there in person, you can watch on Racing America. But again, if you're in Pennsylvania or
in the sun shining,
yeah,
get down there.
Get down there.
Get up there.
There's nothing that replaces being there in person. But we try. And
yeah, but you don't get the
smells,
the fuel burning the inside of your nostrils, and the rubber. Yeah, you don't get that out.
Yeah, you make it sound really appealing. When we come back, we'll talk to our big winner this past weekend from Montgomery Motor Speedway, Matt Craig, the winner of the Rumble by the River. He'll be with us next.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
It's a doubleheader weekend at Oxford Plains Speedway, Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. The Oxford Championship Series hits the track Saturday, featuring super late models. Then on Sunday, the past super late models go for 150 laps. Plus, the American-Canadian Tour late models compete in the Pine Tree State 125 as they all battle it out for short track supremacy. Come enjoy a weekend of fast fun and be at Oxford Plains Speedway, April 27th and 28th, and you can catch it all only on Racing America.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Hey, I'm Steven Nasty, and you're watching Racing America.
Glad to have you here with us this afternoon as our first guest on the pole, if you will, the winner of this past weekend's Rumble by the River at Montgomery Motor Speedway for the ASA Southern Super Series. That is Matt Craig. And Matt, congratulations, your second win in the Rumble by the River, and you had to beat a pretty stout field to get it.
Yeah, it was a good field of cars, a good field of quality cars. Yeah, it was the second time getting a win at Montgomery. I really like that track. I feel like it really suits my driving style, and we were able to bring really good cars to that race, so it worked out well.
You guys have been having a lot of success in these late model series, these big crown jewel events. How would you describe the current landscape of now I sound like you.
Yeah, I know.
Super late model racing right now. A lot of guys like yourself, they're running a lot of these series and a lot of these events.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, every couple weeks there seems to be a pretty big show now. With the ASA National Tour, those races are, more laps, more money. So it's definitely like, a couple times a month there's a race somewhere that is paying a good purse and, is a pretty big event. So I think it's been very good for the super late models.
Jez was talking about it. You had all that success with Pass and with cars when they had super late models in the Mid Atlantic, and when that went away from the Carolinas, it kind of forced you into having to go to some unfamiliar territory. You talk about how much you enjoy Montgomery. It's a lot different from the tracks here in the Carolinas. What is it about Montgomery that you feel has suited your driving style?
Yeah, I mean, track closer to home, Greenville Pickens is very kind of similar, is flat half mile track. And we did really well at Greenville most of the time as well. So I think, having some experience there helps. And then it's just Montgomery is one of those, it's a flat track. It's quite a bit different than the normal tracks we race at, without having much banking. And I think those tracks, you just kind of let the car work. You maybe let the car do its thing a little bit more than you do, at a faster high bank track where you really gotta drive the car really hard and to make it go as fast as it can. But just being kind of like laid back. Just sometimes the slower you drive at Montgomery, the faster your lap time is, just because you're not wearing the tires out or getting the right front, too hot. So
Well, you've certainly had your hands full running all these big races, but I think you've also had your hands full at home. Tell us about what's been going on off the racetrack.
yeah. Back in June of last year, we had a baby girl. She's almost 10 months now old, and
Oh
that's
my
been
gosh,
super
has it been that
fun.
long? Wow.
Yeah,
It
the
is
time
crazy.
flies. Yeah, it's been super fun. She's been such a joy.
Makes racing seem a little easier, maybe in some ways.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah, it's definitely tough.
you got plenty of brown hair right now, and I did too before I had my children. And look at what a
I got a,
handsome devil I turned out to be.
I got a couple gray ones coming
Yeah,
in.
well, you're gonna have a lot more gray ones, thanks to that little girl. But they're worth it. Believe me, they're worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, so coming up next, for the ASA Southern Super Series, big Gulf Coast doubleheader coming up at Mobile next Friday, April the 26th, or excuse me, Friday at Five Flags, and then Saturday, April the 27th at Mobile. Uh, Again, big racetracks, but they're banked and running back-to-back weekends. Excited about it? Nervous? How do you feel going into those races?
Yeah, I'm excited. Five Flags has been a decent track for us. We've finished fifth in the Derby, fifth in the first race there this year. We need to find a little bit more speed in our car, but I think we're right on the verge of having a really good car there. So, maybe we can get another win on Friday and then Saturday at Mobile. That'll be my first time ever seeing Mobile. I've never been there, never even saw it. So that's going to be a learning experience. I've heard it's a lot like Pensacola, just no wall on the back straightaway. So, that's going to be interesting. Hopefully, we can find find the groove down there and have a good race.
Well, I have good homework for you. Go to racingamerica.tv and you will find the races that we've done at Mobile. And I think you will see some similarities to Five Flags, but I think Mobile's its own beast. And I think you'll see, at least from the drivers we've talked to, but I expect you to do very well. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations on the little girl who's now almost a year old, which again seems crazy. And good luck heading into that Gulf Coast doubleheader.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Hey, keep winning races, and we'll keep nagging you to be on.
That's the plan.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. When we come back, we're going to talk to the veteran out of the Northwest, Garrett Evans, coming off a big win of the Apple Cup and getting ready for his own race for the Northwest Super Late Model Series at Wenatchee.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
One of the biggest racing events to ever hit the Northwest comes to Wenatchee Valley Super Oval Saturday, June 1st for the Wenatchee 200. See the West Coast's best grassroots racers as they compete for 200 laps and battle for $25,000 to the winner, plus Thunder Cars and Legends. It's the Wenatchee 200, paying $25,000 to win at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval Saturday, June 1st. For more information, go to WVSO.com, and you can watch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.
I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
Glad to have you back with us here on Bullring, presented by SRI. I'm Alan Dietz along with Jess Ballard, and I'm going to say our lucky dog this week because he was the winner of the Apple Cup at Tri-Cities for the Northwest Super Late Models a couple of weeks ago. Living legend Garrett Evans joining us now. And Garrett, an honor to have you on the show. And I was really pumped to see you get that win at Tri-Cities. That had to be awesome.
It was. You never know when you get to be my age when that might happen. And 68 years old now, and it's a little harder than it used to be. But I had a really good car with that new Seneca car, and my crew guys were there doing a good job, and I just really appreciated what happened.
Yeah, we'll get to Wenatchee, but we always are talking about the young guys on this show and the up-and-coming drivers, but it was really cool to see someone like you win. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was your 6th Apple Cup win?
That's correct.
Yeah, awesome. So that was so cool.
Well, and the thing I love about Garrett is you think about Rich Bickle and Mike Rowe, and you go down the list in different regions around the country of guys that are still killing it, and you are. Is it just as fun now for you, or we mentioned Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. That's where the Northwest Super Late Models will be this weekend. That's your racetrack. You're so busy. Does it make it maybe even more fun to race now?
It's way more fun for me now. All the technology has changed so much, and we get to be involved with all that, and that makes it challenging and fun. And then when I was younger, I didn't worry about it very much. For now, it seemed like there's a lot of stress with the business and what's going on with the world. So I get in that race car, get a chance to forget about all that and get out there and have fun and pretend like I'm a young guy.
Well, speaking of fun, we've got a big weekend coming up at Wenatchee. Tell us what's on the docket.
Well, this weekend for me is the modified race. We have a modified that Ryan Priest used to own or used to drive back at Stafford, and I've been running that at our track. And then in another week we have the Northwest Super Late Model race, but my son's going to race that.
Yeah, again, with us not being on weekly now, every other week, we did want to talk to you about the Northwest Super Late Model Series opening or coming out to Wenatchee Valley next weekend, which you can see here on Racing America if you're not out in the Northwest. And, you know, I know you and I talked back whenever I did some work with Pass, and there was really a struggle after NASCAR and ASA left with the Northwest Tour. And it seems like thanks to your efforts and the Garbers and a lot of these racetracks up there now, you got a really good, solid series there.
Yeah, it seems like our car count's pretty strong. We don't have a lot of choices in super late models. No local track has super late models other than South Sound. So the only place they get to run is when they run the traveling series or a few special events. It's a tight knit bunch. It's good racing, very competitive. Different winners every time there's a race, it seems like. It's a good thing for the fans.
And then we're also very excited because in addition to our Northwest Super Late Model Series coverage out at Wenatchee, we're going to be there on July 1st for the Wenatchee 200, $25,000 to win. Just last week, I don't know if you saw it or not, just Bubba Pollard entered. And I got to think that you and Jeremy and everybody out there have got to be excited about where you are right now. It seems like everything's kind of, you know, on schedule, if you will, is heading into July.
Yeah, really excited about Bubba coming out here. Very appreciative that he's coming out here. I think he's, you know, by far, because of you guys and all the streaming and stuff you've been doing, have took these short track guys and put them on a new level. And anybody that's a short track fan really has got to see what Bubba's been able to do over the last decade or so. And but the people in Wenatchee know who he is, but never been able to see him in person. And everybody around here is just excited and looking forward to it.
And likewise, when I was a kid, ESPN and TNN on occasion would show Northwest races and Southwest Tour races. That's how I got to know who Garrett Evans was, being an East Coaster. And as you say, Garrett, hopefully we're doing the same thing with the streaming now. Good luck this weekend in the modified, and we look forward to seeing the Northwest Super Late Models at Wenatchee next weekend.
Well, I appreciate what you do, and it's good talking to you, Alan. It's been a while. That was really cool when you and Tom Mayberry were together and what you did for them.
Well, I appreciate that, and you never know what Tom's got up his sleeves. I know he's working on some stuff now, so who knows? Maybe we'll see you back east again sometime. Thanks again for being with us.
Okay.
All right. Garrett Evans, living legend right there. When we come back, we're going to take you racing across America and let you see some highlights from what we had here this past week.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. live short track racing, exclusive team content.
Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
It's time for the Race of Champions to return to the Bullring, Wyoming County International Speedway, and a day full of short track racing excitement on the speedy third mile. Witness the Race of Champions Sportsman, Race of Champions Superstock Series, and 4-cylinder Dash Series, set to do battle at the Bullring. Brought to you by the Race of Champions and the Bullring. Saturday, May 25th, the Bullring, Wyoming County International Speedway, racing at 6 p.m. You can't miss it.
Well, we're in the meat of the season here on Racing America. Had a lot of great races on this weekend. The CRA and Boers were at Shady Bowl in Ohio, and we had Pass and Act, among other things, at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Show Me the Money Pro Late Models and Super Late Models at Montgomery. It was a big weekend here.
Are we already in the meat of the season in April?
Well, we're getting into the meat of the season.
We're like on the crispy crust outside.
The crust, and it's really crispy and good. But you know what that means? Since we had all that great racing, it's time to
race across America.
Yes, let's take you to the highlights, and you'll hear the announcers that called the action live and in person.
Green flag is out and they're underway. Side by side, they head through turns 1 and 2. It is Mike Hopkins with the jump on the outside. Hopkins to the lead. DJ Shaw now under attack on the low side. Corey Hall trying to get underneath him. Hall down low in the 83. Shaw on the top side, and already on the move is behind him is the 17 of Eddie McDonald. He's to the inside of DJ Shaw on the back straightaway, trying to make a 2-for-1 as he heads to the inside of Mike Hopkins. Eddie McDonald has the nose up. They get real close off of 4 as back comes Hopkins. Action has sorted out at the front. Eddie McDonald shows the way in the 17. Shaw in the 60 rides second. Oh, we got trouble. Trouble in turn 2. Trevor Sanborn hard in the wall. Dennis Spencer gets collected. On April 14th, it's lucky number 13 for Eddie McDonald as he wins the Pass Northeast Classic.
Pace cars headed for the infield, and we are ready to go. Here they come off of turn number 4, down to the start-finish line. Green flag is in the air, and Stephen Donahue is immediately going 3 wide to the inside for the lead. Lil Irish, Stephen Donahue makes a bid for the race lead in turn 1, but he's going to come up short as the 5 of Dylan Maltz will lead down the back straightaway. A little bit deeper in the pack, the 18, Caden Fisher, and the 04 of Swat. Whoa, look out! Spinning and crashing in turns 3 and 4, Dylan Maltz and Stephen Donahue, and collected is the number 5 of Tom Carey III. Tanner Woodard in the 68, and then Gabe Brown in car 47. He's the 9th place runner. Oh, a little bit of contact right there. Tanner Woodard's hard to the wall. Casey Beatty gets him. Bobby Therian's involved. Caution, a flag is out. Oh, and piling in at the end comes another one. 10 to go for Derek Luchacki with Jesse Switzer, the new leader at the line. Switzer, the St. J. Subaru car, thunders to the top of the list. He makes the left-hand turn down the front straightaway and heads south for the start-finish line. And Jesse Switzer is your winner here on the Magic Mile. Derek Luchacki is second. Third goes to Alexander Turnip.
It's the Rumble by the River 100. The Show Me the Money Series is green at Montgomery Motor Speedway. Zach Dixon side by side. Good battle right now with Gavin Graham to the back straightaway. Graham has the advantage to the back stretch on the high side. Graham's going to clear him. He takes the lead here early.
Down the back, Nassie's going to get the advantage over Finch and Pollard.
Pollard squeezed between the 18 and the 2. They're nose to tail through 3. Trouble turn number 3. We got cars in the outside wall. Caution is out. I think Pollard is struggling whether he's able to, push the envelope here. He does. Pollard won. Oh, trouble front straightaway. Seth Christensen and a 21 at Devon. Nassi is still there to the back stretch, door to door. Nassi has a nose advantage in the middle of the back straightaway. Pollard drives it in deep through 3 and 4. Nassi to the inside. They're still side by side. Stephen Nassi leads.
Pollard on the outside is keeping his foot on that accelerator a little bit longer down in turn 3. Let's see how this happens when they get to turn 3 this time. Nassi pulls out to a car length advantage.
Stephen Nassi will win the Rumble by the River 100 at Montgomery. Fans, it's the Rumble by the River 125
at Montgomery Motor Speedway. Here we go.
Side by side for the lead. Oh, the 69's going to get the best of the 54. He'll clear him on the back straightaway. Matt Craig to the inside of Michael Hine. Side by side, the first challenge for Hine on the evening, and Matt Craig has the advantage.
Hine tried to race him, but it didn't work.
Saved the whole layup, and Michael Hine washes up. And Michael Hine. Michael Hine. Trouble,
Big
contact.
Trouble.
Bolin gets into the back of Ruggiero. Ruggiero goes around. Caution is out. Here comes Stephen Nassi. He'll do contact between Bolin and possibly Nassi. We stay green. Battle for third. Side by side between Okresik and Bolin.
Bolin gets past Okresik. That's the battle for
3
third
wide.
spot.
That's not going to work. Big
more
crash.
problems.
The Chevrolet will come out of turn number 4 for the second time of his career. Matt Craig wins the Rumble. And oh no, John Bolin, who was running second, is in the wall.
Well, that was just a sample of the great action that we had here on Racing America. It was pretty exciting, huh?
As we saw.
Yeah.
Ready to do it again.
Ready to do it again, and we'll tell you more about where we're going to be at this weekend a little bit later on. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Chase Elliott breaking that winless drought in the NASCAR Cup Series, and Taylor Kitchen will be here with us to break it all down.
It's a doubleheader weekend at Oxford Plains Speedway Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. The Oxford Championship Series hits the track Saturday, featuring super late models. Then on Sunday, the past super late models go for 150 laps. Plus, the American-Canadian Tour late models compete in the Pine Tree State 125 as they all battle it out for short track supremacy. Come enjoy a weekend of fast fun and be at Oxford Plains Speedway April 27th and 28th, and you can catch it all only on Racing America.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Obviously, these races are hard to win, and they seem like they get harder, at least for me. They continuously get harder over time, and I've just been really proud of our group for sticking together, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have been around the sport long enough to understand and know that when you have a couple bad years or a period of time that things aren't going well, it is so easy to jump ship and to start bailing out on one another. And I think that the win's great, all that stuff is fantastic, but I'm truthfully most proud of the journey and the group of people that we have climbed back up together with, and we've made each other better. They've pushed me to be a better driver and a better person, and I just feel like we're all in a really good place, and we have been, and it's nice to see all the hard work pay off, and those guys really deserve to win. They've been busting it for a while and have been doing a really good job. So that's what I'm most proud of is the journey and all of us sticking together at the 9 team.
Well, that's what Chase Elliott had to say after ending his long winless streak this past weekend at Texas. And joining us now for Taylor's take on the road to the Cup is Taylor Kitchen. Taylor with us here in studio, and Jess is so excited.
Finally, I'm so excited.
We've been trying to coordinate for like the last few weeks, and it's not worked out. And I was totally surprised that you were going to be in the studio today. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Excited to be here. It's awesome to finally be in person.
Well, just so you know, Jess confided in me that you're her hero, and Taylor confided in me that you were her hero.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, I adore you, Jess.
Well,
for real.
I'm lying
Perfect.
about both of those, but they may think
No,
that.
it's
I
true.
don't know.
No, Alan, really, you're our hero.
Oh yeah, sure.
And with that, take it away, Alan.
So I don't know. I thought about this earlier today, and I wanted to get your take on it. I've heard Kenny Wallace and others say that it's good for the sport when Chase Elliott wins, and people said the same thing when Jeff Gordon went on a winless streak and started winning again. The same with Dale Earnhardt Jr. What do you think about that?
I do think it is good for the sport when Chase Elliott wins. If we're going to deem him as the most popular driver, we need the most popular driver to win races, right? Otherwise, with Chase Elliott, his personality is a lot more subtle. Mm-hmm. He's a more introverted type of guy. He has personality. He just keeps things kind of closed off, and that's totally fine. That's who he is. But when we have somebody who is our most popular driver, you need them to be a star, right? Mm-hmm. You need them to represent the sport well and represent the sport face forward. And he's not doing that. Mm-hmm. So when he's able to win and we have him face forward in front of the fans, everyone's celebrating, everyone's hyped, that 42 race winless streak was awful for the sport. So now that he's back in victory lane, I think that's a positive thing. And I think it really does boost the sport.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with all of that. I think it was last year that he was out for an injury, and there was I saw numbers that were not, it just showed that there are a lot of people that watch for Chase, and so obviously for him to win, that's very exciting for all those people. It keeps them coming back. It keeps them, invested in the playoffs and all that. But I also think that, I don't know, when I first started watching, it was Martin Truex that was dominant. It was that season that he was dominating all the time. And sometimes I think on the other end, I'm not sure if there's a number where it's too many Chase wins or too many one driver wins.
Well,
can do the opposite, but.
And that's exactly it. Because I think when Chase Elliott wasn't winning, it allowed other drivers to come forward and be stars. Denny Hamlin wins all the time. But with Chase Elliott taking a back seat, and with the Netflix docuseries, Hamlin was able to step forward. We saw Ross Chastain step forward. Other drivers were able to take the spotlight, Ryan Blaney, for instance. So it's a back and forth. But again, he's the most popular driver. He should be getting wins. And I think it's overall a good thing. But I do agree with you as well, Jess.
Anytime there's just a good storyline with that driver, it's positive.
Well, and I've said, too, you look at dynasties in sports, which the Kansas City Chiefs are becoming.
Correct.
It's good and bad because a lot of people tune in because they want to see that team or that driver get beat. And
or Taylor.
There was a whole generation, basically, of drivers when Jimmy Johnson was so dominant that didn't win championships.
Yeah.
Carl Edwards, You can go through the list of other guys that raced and got close, but never were able to get over that hump and get a win. Changing subject just a little bit. Go to Talladega this weekend. It's always a wild card. Do we think somebody could sneak in and get a win that maybe not be able to point in? And if so, who? I know who I think.
Ooh, I mean, I look at the Ford drivers. Austin Cindric's had a rough season. I would say for him to really secure a spot in the playoffs, he has to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of those drivers. I think even too, you could look at Ricky Stenhouse Jr., for instance. He could sneak in and get a win based off of points. Even, I don't even know. I mean,
Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, Todd Gilliland is the other one. Michael McDowell, he's been decent this season.
Yeah, and I think he could still point in.
But he could still point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Of
Jess?
48.
It's true.
He may need a win to get in.
Yeah. And you remember last season, I'm just saying, I'm obviously unbiased. But last season, they started off the season so strong points-wise, and then there was
He broke his back.
Yeah, and then also they got the points taken away. I forget.
What's
chemo
this
brain,
got
what
to
happened.
do with Talladega this weekend?
Well, I'm just saying, I never lose. You know what? On paper, I feel like he's doing better than it shows on paper. So that's why he's my pick.
And that's the thing. And he definitely is doing better. He had two fourth place finishes in a row.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. I mean, he's been showing great speed. He's being a lot more consistent. And I think last year, just that momentum again broke because of his injury. But I think that there's a chance that he gets in the playoffs. I really do.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I agree. And that was a good job to take Jess's tangent and make it apply to what we were actually talking about. Well, Taylor, it's great to have you here. I hope you're going to be in North Carolina soon. I know you're looking.
She's in North Carolina right now.
I mean, living in North Carolina.
Full time.
Yes.
Same.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Brandon Varney. Oxford Plains Speedway's opening up this weekend. He'll be there, and he'll be next.
The Show Me the Money Pro Late Models return to Montgomery Motor Speedway Saturday, May 25th. Come see the best pro late models in the country compete in the Spring Explosion 100. Plus, you'll also see action for the late model sportsmen, street stocks, road runners, and pure stocks. It's the Spring Explosion 100, Saturday, May 25th at Montgomery Motor Speedway. For more information, go to montgomerymotorspeedway.org. It's all only on RacingAmerica.tv, your new home for racing.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Wiscasset Speedway, Sunday, May 26th for the Coastal 200, presented by Colebrook Trailers, GT Overhead Door, and CLH & Son. Late models go for 200 green flag laps and $10,000 to win, along with modifieds, strictly streets, and legends. Kick off your Memorial Day celebration in style at Wiscasset Speedway, Sunday, May 26th for the Coastal 200. Racing starts at 2, and you can see it only on Racing America.
Hi, I'm Eddie McDonald, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring. Alan and Jess here with you. And, I think the last time we had a show, here in studio, we announced the Kowicki Driver Development Program
Yes.
drivers.
Wow, has it been that long?
Yes, and we were able to talk to Derek Gluchaki that day, and I thought it was a wonderful opportunity with Oxford Plains opening their season this weekend here on Racing America to bring in another KDDP driver, and that was a struggle. You saw me. Yeah. Bring in Brandon Varney, who is part of this year's class, and he'll be racing for the championship in the super late models at Oxford. First off, Brandon, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on being a finalist.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. This is really cool, really neat.
Well, tell me about I got to think your anticipation for this season got amped up even more once you did get picked as a finalist, because you'd got where you were pretty dominant in the past modified last year. You get into the super late model, if I'm not mistaken, you ended up getting a win right there at the end of the season in like your second or third start. You got to have a ton of confidence going into this weekend in the year as well.
Oh, for sure. I'm real excited for the opportunity to be able to race for Dennis Spencer and compete at the super late model level. Racing for a championship at Oxford Plains Speedway. It's really a dream come true for me. This is something that I never dreamed being a possibility. So being in this position, I'm really excited and hoping to capitalize on the opportunity that Dennis has given us.
I mean, let's not understate. I mean, the jump to supers is always, I don't care what you were in the season before, that's always a challenging and a big jump. I don't care who you are. And then to be racing a super at a place like Oxford, I mean, we always talk about how Oxford's one of those iconic tracks that has a really strong weekly series.
Yeah, 25 or 30 cars.
Yeah, so, like Nashville or Slinger, and to be, it's one thing to race a super, weekly and competitively. It's another thing to be doing it at Oxford. I mean, that's going to really make a statement when you have success this season. So what are your expectations there?
We're just hoping to stay competitive, keep our fenders clean, and hopefully be there at the end of the season to compete for Rookie of the Year or the championship, top 3 in points. We really don't have a huge expectation. We're just hoping to learn, with this being my first season of super late model. So we're just excited for the challenge.
So standing from the outside, I look at it and I'm like, all right, you're limited in horsepower with the past modified. You're on a narrow tire, yet Kate Ray has transitioned and become a winner in a super late model. Max Cookson won everything passing Oxford last year. What do you think it is about that car, or is there anything about that car that maybe gets you ready for these super late models?
Yeah, it's actually, I find it a little more difficult to drive a past modified, just because you are on the smaller tire. You do have less horsepower, so you have to try and manage and do the best you can and hopefully get to the front as fast as you can on top of that. I think ultimately what it comes down to is, it's a different car, but it's still the same racetrack. Oxford's our home, and it's where Kate has learned how to drive. It's where Max learned how to drive. It's where I've learned how to drive. So it's really the same track. So it all translates in the long run.
Well, Oxford is such a unique and fickle racetrack. I think if you can get it figured out, it makes it easier at a lot of other places. And I'm interested to watch your progression this year, because I think it's going to be a very good year for you. Mara Parker also running for Rookie of the Year. I think it'll be interesting to watch her as she makes the move up as well. And we'll be following you all season here on Racing America.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, that's Brandon Varney. Again, you can watch him this weekend, Saturday, as Oxford Plains Speedway kicks off the 2024 season. And he kicks off his rookie season in a super late model. We come back, we're going to talk about must-see racing sprint cars. Joe Liguori will join us after this.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind-the-scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
It's time for the Race of Champions to return to the Bullring, Wyoming County International Speedway, and a day full of short-track racing excitement on the speedy third mile. Witness the Race of Champions Sportsman, Race of Champions Superstock Series, and 4-score 4-cylinder Dash Series. Set to do battle at the Bullring. Brought to you by the Race of Champions and the Bullring. Saturday, May 25th, the Bullring, Wyoming County International Speedway, racing at 6 p.m. You can't miss it.
Coming up next weekend here on Racing America, one of the races you'll be able to see is the must-see racing sprint cars at Sandusky Speedway in Ohio. Joining us now, the winner of the must-see opener at Citrus County Speedway, that is Joe Liguori. Joe, thanks for being with us. Congratulations on that win down in Florida. I know that had to be a good boost to get the season started off.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you having me on the show. Appreciate, congratulating us on that win. It was pretty cool. Start the season off like that. And, hopefully we can win a few more, and that's just a good sign for things to come.
Yeah, it'll really, build momentum. And so you're racing down in Florida where the weather's pretty nice. I've only been to Sandusky. Is it Sandusky Raceway? Sandusky Speedway?
I think, yeah.
I've only been to that track one time. They usually have like a New Year's bash or something. That's where it was. So I was there on New Year's Day. It was freezing. It was the coldest I've ever been in my life. So I'm hoping it's going to be a little warmer for you now that it's April. But you're going from Florida to Sandusky up by the lake. What are your expectations here for your race coming up at Sandusky in 2 weeks?
Obviously, expectation is to win. Start the season off with that, with a win there with the points deal. I drive for George Rudolph down in Florida, the purple 68 car, probably the most infamous sprint car in the state of Florida. So pretty cool to drive for him down there. We run our own stuff up here in Must See on the national tour. So it'll be exciting. We can start the year off with a win there maybe. And, podium finish is probably the most realistic. You always want to win, but, only one guy gets to do that, I guess.
Well, I know they're expecting over 20 must-see racing sprint cars at Sandusky. Again, that'll be on April the 27th. For folks that don't know, describe Sandusky. What kind of speedway is it? How does it race?
I've only been there once, and I've slept a lot and raced a lot of different tracks since then. But I do recall that turn 3 and 4 is a little different than 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is kind of more of a higher speed. 3 and 4 is kind of flat coming out. The wall comes up to you a little quick up off of 4.
Well, I mean, everything comes up a little quick with those cars, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I found the wall at South Boston. That came up pretty quick. But it's basically 2 drag strips. It's a half mile, but it's paper clip, and still got to get your stuff to turn, and you got to be able to run down straightaways.
Do you have a preference racing down south or closer up to home?
Well, I drive for somebody else down there, so I don't pay all the bills on it. So I prefer
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't mind. I don't care where I race. I grew up running USAC stuff, so we kind of raced all over the place. It don't bother me where we race. I've been running the pavement wing stuff lately, and that's been pretty fun. And it's affordable. Must See does a great job running their shows. The staff does a good job with everything, so it's enjoyable to run with them for sure.
What's it like to drive these cars? I've seen them in a couple of places, and uh, to say that they're loud and fast is an understatement. I mean, you guys are literally on the edge. It seems like every time you turn the wheel.
Yeah, and I've driven late models and Opel modified a long time ago, and comparing the two there, it's night and day. I mean, it's like jumping from a Ferrari to a semi. It's the Ferraris or the sprint cars for sure, and they're they're a little sketchy at times. You gotta sometimes if the car feels tight with the wings, you can actually drive them a little harder, gain a little bit more wing speed, and actually freeze the car up. You just got to trust the wing. That's the thing. And when you take the wing off, you're not hooking up 900 horsepower like we are with the wing on it. So the wings are they're really fast. You get as much power as you can and get it to the ground.
Well, we love having Must See Racing on Racing America this year. Again, Sandusky Speedway in Ohio, April the 27th. You see Joe and all the Must See racers down there. Joe, congratulations again for the win down at Citrus, and thanks for joining us today.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, Joe Liguori, again, he'll be a guy to watch at Sandusky here in a little over a week. We come back, we'll tell you what's around the corner this weekend on Racing America and talk to Todd Thelen from Slinger.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
It's a doubleheader weekend at Oxford Plains Speedway Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. The Oxford Championship Series hits the track Saturday, featuring super late models. Then on Sunday, the past super late models go for 150 laps. Plus, the American Canadian Tour late models compete in the Pine Tree State 125 as they all battle it out for short track supremacy. Come enjoy a weekend of fast fun and be at Oxford Plains Speedway April 27th and 28th, and you can catch it all only on Racing America.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
I'm Ty Majeski, and you're watching Racing America.
Glad to have you back here with us on the Bullring. And Jess, as we've talked about, it's going to be a huge weekend again. You say we go around the corner?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
yeah,
thanks.
I'm on board.
Glad you're paying attention. Saturday will be at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Pro Late Models racing there. The Race Champions Modifieds, as we mentioned, their season opener also on Saturday at Mahoning Valley Speedway in Pennsylvania. Oxford Plains Speedway opener also on Saturday. And Sunday, the opener at Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin. And joining us now from Slinger Speedway is Todd Thelen. And Todd, it's I'm sure been a long, cold winter out there, but I'm sure you guys are ready to go this weekend. What you got going on?
Well, we've got our season opener, and we are actually partnered up with the Midwest Tour and have a whole bunch of cars that are expected entries. So looking for a huge event and great way to kick off a season.
Yeah.
We've got about Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We're close to 40 cars on an expected entry list. Everybody's either is pre-entered or been reached out to, and we haven't had an opening day field like this in quite a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, Todd, that's what I was going to say is to me, Slinger is one of those pavement tracks that, of course it has a crown jewel event and some big races throughout the season, but it's also one of those tracks that the weekly shows, people really look forward to, like Nashville, like Oxford, and, it's just an iconic track for the late model crowd. What is on the docket for this weekend at Slinger?
So it's actually round one of the Midwest Tour, which is a combined points race with the Slinger Speedway Super Late Models, and we've got support racing going on with it too, late models and Super Bs and other support divisions all the way down to the figure eights. But it's again, it's a big opener for us, and it's actually a heartfelt weekend as well. It's in memory of our former competition director, Jerry Prieston, who passed away in a car accident just over a year ago. And so it's Jerry the Bear Prieston Memorial, and there'll be a lot of heavy hearts on Sunday and a lot of good racing.
Well, that's the best way to honor a racer for sure. And I know his family and all you folks will be looking forward to that. As Jess was mentioning, the great weekly program you guys have at Slinger, and we're so glad to be bringing back weekly racing on Racing America again from Slinger on Sunday afternoons. But we can't talk about Slinger without talking about the Slinger Nationals, and it's got to, you mentioned how big the field is for this weekend, but that seems like it gets the season started off on a high note, where it would hopefully crescendo going into the Slinger Nationals.
Absolutely. And there's reasons that Ty Majeski and racers like him are racing this weekend. It's to tune up for the Slinger Nationals. Every super late model racer for sure in the area is going to do their best to make it out. And as we get closer to the Nationals, we'll have racers. I've talked to even guys like Stephen Nasty about coming up early this year and maybe racing on a Sunday before the Nationals. So a lot of excitement. We're expecting a very similar field of cars for the Nationals this season, and can't wait.
Well, it's going to be a huge July for us here on Racing America at Oxford. $40,000 to win July the 3rd. Go to the Slinger Nationals. You got the Redbud 400. Again, you can see all that on Racing America. And, I know you guys have got to be proud of that racetrack. I got to think that makes maybe the work during the off season a little bit easier when you love something, because from going up there the last 2 or 3 years, the fans seem just about as passionate about that place as you do.
Yes, it's filled with so much history and so many legends have raced at Slinger Speedway that we know we have a crown jewel. It's one of the healthiest tracks in the state of Wisconsin, maybe in the country on the asphalt side of things, and it makes it that much easier when we're digging deep all winter long to realize what we're pushing for when the season does open, and it's to carry on that tradition at a facility like Slinger Speedway.
Well, I think you do have just as strong a weekly program on pavement as anybody in the country. We can't wait to see it get kicked off Sunday. Hope you can make it out to Slinger if you're watching in Wisconsin. If not, watch here on Racing America. Todd, thanks, and hope you guys have a good weekend. I know it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Todd Thelen from Slinger Speedway. We come back, we'll wrap up this episode of the Bullring.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, Manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Show Me the Money Pro Late Models return to Montgomery Motor Speedway Saturday, May 25th. Come see the best pro late models in the country compete in the Spring Explosion 100. Plus, you'll also see action for the late model sportsmen, street stocks, road runners, and pure stocks. It's the Spring Explosion 100, Saturday, May 25th at Montgomery Motor Speedway. For more information, go to montgomerymotorspeedway.org. It's all only on RacingAmerica.tv, your new home for racing.
I want to thank all of our guests for being here with us today. Of course, we'll be back on the Bullring in a couple of weeks, but as we said, there's going to be a ton of racing. And, of course, the Racing America 24/7 channel on LG TV, Tubi, Roku, all sorts of great stuff. No excuse not to watch Racing America.
No, if my mom can find it and figure out how to watch it, so can you.
And remember, you'll be able to catch all the races that we've talked about here the next couple of weekends on RacingAmerica.tv. So, for Jess Ballard, I'm Alan Dietz saying thanks, and we'll see you next time on Bullring.